His work has garnered industry recognition, including several awards, a US patent, and multiple publications in leading journals. Mr. Venkatesh Rao.
With that in mind, the approach was always right person, right expert, right resource.
Beautifully put. Great.
As the engineering community is increasing their speed and all, at the same time the fraudsters also increasing their threat level also.
I like the way you share both successes and lessons from setbacks, and it makes the narrative relatable and authentic. Hello, everyone, and welcome to FaceTime with Leaders, powered by Directors Institute, a World Council of Directors. I'm your host, Sunny Bancholi, and today's episode is filled with technological brilliance and leadership wisdom. Our guest today is an industry leader whose expertise has shaped the trajectory of cutting edge semiconductor designs and system on chips, that is, SoC technologies. With over 22 years of experience, Mr. Venkatesh Rao has delivered innovative solutions and led high performing teams across multiple regions and complex projects. Currently, serving as Senior Manager at Intel Technology, Mr. Rao has driven critical IP integrations, designed high speed interfaces, and successfully executed test chips and foundational IPs, including PCIe Gen 6, USB 4, and Ethernet at speed up to 112 Gbps. His work has garnered industry recognition, including several awards, a US patent, and multiple publications in leading journals. Mr. Rao's career is a testament to his passion for technology, strategic vision, and commitment to excellence. It is with great pleasure that we welcome Mr. Venkatesh Rao to the show today. Sir, thank you for joining us, and how are you doing today?
Hey, thanks, Sunny. Thanks. I'm doing great. I hope you are doing great. Thanks again, and for the good and warm welcome. Happy to hear on your show.
Absolutely. Looking forward to a great conversation ahead.
Sure.
All right. So let's start with the beginning. You have spent more than 2 decades shaping the landscape of high speed IOs and SoC technologies. If you could share your journey with us, from your first step in the industry to where you are today, what would that story look like?
Yeah, I think it's a very fantastic journey. When I started my journey, it was the VLSI industry was just booming. Right. At that time, the VLSI industry is the talk of the hour. Everybody was looking into the designs and looking into the different aspects of the technologies, the mobiles, the laptops and PCs. Right. The country has different the enthusiasm to work on the semiconductor industry. In the process, right, when there are a lot of companies, MNCs working on the industry, wherein their talent, pulling the talent from all across the globe. Very few engineers having experience and expertise on this VLSI domain. All right. And when I passed out from postgraduate from IIT Delhi, I was very enthusiastic to learn this technology and work on this one. The challenges what we had, right? And the customers, we are looking at the peak, right? It is like a industry wherein we are working on the big laptops, the monitors, and the CPUs, and right, and the wireless technology is just emerging. So at that time, right, the whole semiconductor industry was just following one rule, that is Moore's law. What it says is basically a, every 2 year, the number of transistors on a chip is doubles, basically, right? What that means is the more performance, more the power efficiency, and lesser area. So this was the trend at that time, two decades back, and today that is following still, right? And if I look at the overall industry, right, there are the massive growth in some of the semiconductor industries like Apple. You see the Apple, right, or the way it started and way it is today. Samsung, right, Nvidia. These are the industry, the companies have grown like in very massively. But at the same time, there are some industries have gone completely, like Nokia. You might have seen the Nokia, right, and Blackberries, right. So these are the ups and downs in my career. If I look into the technology overall, right, as a semiconductor technology, where we were working in micrometer, today we are in sub-micron, nanometers, right? The angstrom technology we are talking about. The speed we are talking is in megabytes. Today we talk about gigabytes, right? If you see the compute resources and all the big monitors, right? Today we see small laptops, the smartphones, right? Altogether, if you see the technology has grown massively. We were talking at that time huge manpowers, engineering power, manpowers and all. Today we talk about machine power, AI, ML, right? And if you see the technology where we are, our smartphone, right, is act like a Aladdin ka chirag, right? You swipe little bit, you want what you want, sitting at one place, you'll get the required things, right? This is where the industry moved from last 2 decades. Yeah, this is about my journey, I think.
And what a fantastic journey, Mr. Rao. I like how you described it almost like a movie plot, the highs, lows, and a comeback. So that really pulls us in. That really pulls us in. So, Mr. Rao, given the rapid pace of technological advancements, especially in the fields of high-speed IOs and SoC integrations, what do you think are the most significant challenges engineers face today? And part B of my question is, how do you approach problem solving in such a fast evolving space?
Yeah, definitely. So there is this technology, as I said, it is growing very fast, and there is a tremendous amount of the pressure on the design community because everybody is competing today, right? If you don't have time to sleep for the quarter or two, then the market is moving very fast, right? So there is a lot of the challenges in terms of the technology which we are talking about, HSIO, is the one of the mainstream and high challenge, the complicated and complex designs. So here, when we talk about the HSIO and SoC, we talk about lot of the power. Okay, how do you improve the power? How do you make it the signal integrity much efficient? And how do we the performance when we increase the speed, obviously there is an increase in the power. There is a thermal solution. How do I maintain the thermal solutions, right? So in the when we talk about this, when we are having a chip smaller and smaller, and there is a lot of frequencies, higher frequency increases, that the radiation, EMI radiations we talk about, that is hazardous to health, and there are bodies to maintain that, to govern those laws, we have to maintain that. So on top of it, the semiconductor industry, the technology when we are moving, right? The investment, the manufacturing capabilities are also very complex nowadays. So these are the challenges. With these challenges, how do we come up? Right, is the fundamentally we see every year over year, these are the challenges. So what approach we take is there is a design, big design. So if I talk about the 100% is my overall design, there is certain percentage we reuse, certain percentage we have to do some innovation, complete new innovation, certain percentage we optimize, so that at the end of the day we reach the market very fast. So with this in mind, right, what we take is we seek the right expert, right skill sets, right resources. So it is not available in one city or one country today. These are the complex designs which we are talking, right? It is not easily available in one place. So what we did when I was working on one of the high-end technology, the 112 Gbps HSIO, we had a team, one portion of a team coming from Canada, one team coming from Israel, one team, the signal integrity and all, the expert team is sitting in Malaysia, and we are here, and they're working with all the team members, and the whole manufacturing. See, the fun is in US. So you see, so many countries, so many people, we were involved. Why? Because we have to meet the market demand, market expectations, and we don't have a time to do multiple experiments and multiple right the versions to try. Let me try this, let me try this. It will not going to happen like that. So it is a one shot kind of application where we have to meet the market demand. So with that in mind, the approach was always right person, right expert, right resource. With that, we were able to manage this kind of complexities and design in a short time.
Incredible, Mr. Rao. And it's truly fascinating to hear how the challenges of speed and integration aren't just technical hurdles, but human ones as well. And I really like how you turned a very complex topic into something we can all visualize. That analogy with an orchestra or a city really works.
Mhm. Yeah.
So, Mr. Rao, the semiconductor industry is undergoing tremendous changes with the shift to smaller process nodes and faster speeds. Now, how do you see the future of semiconductor technologies evolving? And where do you believe the most exciting opportunities lie for engineers and leaders in this field?
Yeah, definitely. The semiconductor industry is one of the fast growing technology, right? If you look into the back history, as I mentioned, the micrometer to a nanometer and sub nanometer, that is we call as the angstrom. And the technology demands more and more because we see the applications today is entering almost every field, right? In the mechanical field, the cars, it has come to the car basically, right? The automation and all is come to the healthcare. You name any field, it has a penetration in that. So coming back to the technology here, the implementation of it is semiconductor industry, as we are reaching more and more towards the sub nanometer and angstrom technology, it is becoming very, very expensive. If you see today, the US has made a chip act few years back because the investment amount is massive. It is in tons of billions dollars. It is not possible by a group of investors or group of the few people can manage that. It is not that. It is an industry wherein the amount is massive. The stakes are very high. It is the national security threat kind of level we are talking about, right? That's where we are talking in terms of the investment is very huge, and there is a massive investment, and the government is part of it, right? Right, because of the investment involved. Now, look at the opportunities here, right? When we are putting billions of money, we need a people to cater that. We need a machines. We need a raw material. We need the right automation tools. It is right. When we are building a certain technology, we need a lot of design automation tools. That itself is a big billion-dollar industry. All right. It is we need a the advanced the packaging system. We are just not manufacturing a chips and done. We are going to send it to the end customer and try to use it. So there are if I look into the fields apart from the foundry, is the first one is your the packaging. I talked about the power. There is a huge amount of when we operate at a high speed and all. There is a huge amount of power dissipation happens. We want to manage that. That is we need a thermal solutions, right packaging solutions. We need a right material. It's to withstand and withstand the higher temperatures and dissipate the power faster. We need a innovations in that area, the right materials. So the other part of that is, as I mentioned, is the usage of it. When it comes to the how I am using my AI, how I am using my machine languages, they need a huge computer resources. For that, we need a good amount of infrastructure, investment, and there is a software and there is a hardware part of it. All these things work together in hand. And once we do that, we have to send it to the end user, right? When we go to the end user, today if you see there is a lot of threat in cybersecurity, right? If we take any field, there is a security issue. There is there is a threat to the security. So we have to maintain that kind of security and the IP protection. So for that, these are the areas there is a lot of demand going forward. As the engineering community is increasing their speed and all, at the same time the fraudsters also increasing their threat level also. So we have to come up to that speed. So there is a good amount of opportunity in these fields still.
Absolutely, Mr. Rao, and it's incredible how you link cutting edge technology to real world impact. That gives a whole new perspective on semiconductors. And I really like how you shared both the challenges and the opportunities. It makes the future feels exciting, but also very human. So, Mr. Rao, moving on to the next question. You have worked with teams across different regions, including Malaysia, USA, Israel. What have been the biggest challenges of managing teams from diverse geographical and cultural backgrounds? And how do you foster collaboration across such global teams?
Yeah, it's a wonderful question. Okay, it applies to every industry, right? The biggest challenge here is the managing the global team is basically the communication barrier. That is the first and foremost we start with, right? And the second is the how the people, how the engineers work. That is their the work style, their social life, and in terms of their the time zones, this is becoming even challenging, right? The overlap between, particularly when you are working with US, Malaysia, and Israel, there are 4 time zones. Finding this time zone is very challenging, right? So these are the typical challenges even today we face. Okay, so to overcome this, right, what we do is sensitize the certain things. We sensitize to the employees and ourselves with the proper training. How do we communicate? How do we talk? How do we the certain accent? How we are right treating that the word what they are interpreting. So we'll have internal trainings, video trainings, right? And in terms of the accountability, when it comes, right? When it comes to the accountability, we work together. There is a unified goal set between both of them. Then what happens is both of them understand there is a need. We have to work together. We have to find a common time zone, right? In terms of the setting the goal, in terms of setting the expectations, when we have between both of the team members, then the certain level of problem solved. Now, in terms of the engagement happening, how do we do, right? Is in the past we used to travel few days to US or the on-site if the very few people are working here, or if there are more team members here, we used to call them and interact with us, right? Vice versa, we used to do, right? Today, the technology is advanced, right? When instead of just moving into the audio, just move to the video mode, you see the huge impact, right? So that way, the whole the communication, the ownership that builds up, and these kind of barriers will come down very drastically.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Rao. And it's fascinating to hear how you navigated different working styles and cultures. That really brings the challenges of global teams to life.
Yeah.
Continuing our conversation, as someone who has overseen major IP developments and integrations, including PCIe Gen 6 and MIPI D-PHY, I hope I pronounced that right.
Right.
So, how do you approach innovation in such highly technical, complex projects? And how do you keep your teams motivated when working on challenging, multifaceted designs?
Yeah, this is a wonderful question, right? The team, whenever there is a technology and a new project comes, there is a lot of enthusiasm. Okay, everybody want to work. That is one good news. Now, in terms of how do we manage the complexity and how do we do the innovation, right? How do we keep that innovation intact? So we go in the balanced strategy, right? What is the balance strategy, right? So we give a complete freedom to do multiple experiment, go and give the work, the complete freedom, try multiple experiment and come back within a time bound, right? That is the strategy. We'll give a complete freedom, but within a time frame. At the same time, we take the success and failures equally, and we will not be penalized for the employees, so that they don't feel that there is oh, if I fail, I am lose. No, it may impact my career. So that is how we call it as a balance. In terms of the when it comes to the innovation, when it comes to the work, right? It is a lot of iterative work, lot of the last minute changes keep coming, right? So I can do this, I can do this. No, we have to put a certain barrier. If out of the 100, if I can achieve 90%, let's put the brake, move on. Other 10% you achieve over the period of a time. If it able to meet in the last minute, we will take it. Otherwise, okay, 90% achieved, move on. So my time to market I achieved, and I am able to achieve my product in on time, right? So this way, the team also appreciates. The team also feels secure that okay, my if I fail also, I am not be penalized. I am okay to go and contribute to the next level, right? So this kind of the level set and expectations, when you set it, the employees, believe me, really appreciate it. Whenever there is a new challenging work, I have gone through, I have worked, right? So there is a time bound is there. Yes, we have to meet it. You cannot take a R&D forever, right? So because we are in a business, we cannot afford to have longer times. There is a time bound, time limit, and they have to done. That way we can success in the market. This market is basically a very competitive, right? If you lose few quarters, you lose the good amount of business, right? So with that in mind, we have to have a balance strategy in mind.
Absolutely, absolutely, Mr. Rao. And it's impressive how you balance technical complexity with motivating people. That's not easy at all. And I love how you described innovation almost like leading an expedition. It really captures both the challenge and the excitement.
Yes.
Okay, so now it's time for the rapid fire round. Quick questions and quick answers,
Okay.
just instinctive ones, no second thought given. So, shall we proceed? Are you ready for it?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. First thing, tea or coffee?
Tea.
A book or resource that has had the biggest impact on your career?
There's a one book, right? As I said, it's in technology. It is the analog design, CMOS analog circuits, right? By author called Bejad Rajavi. This is the one book I love for
Okay,
this industry. Yeah.
okay, nice. One buzzword you would like to ban forever?
I I think procrastination.
Okay, right. The most challenging market you have worked in?
Yeah, that one is the HSIO, the Ethernet IP, where we worked on 112 Gbps. That was one of the challenging market we see.
Okay. A mentor who shaped your leadership style?
Yeah, they are my mentors, managers in the past, Nivruti Rai and Abhi Kolla.
Great. The best career advice you have ever received?
This one is take responsibility, right? And protect the team in crisis. I'll take two words.
Absolutely, absolutely. Right. If you weren't in the semiconductor industry, what would you be doing?
Maybe teaching.
Okay.
Mm.
That was unexpected. All right, moving into the last question of the rapid fire round. Your go-to strategy for unwinding after a hectic work day.
Yeah, sometimes right, it's very hectic in that the overall grand time frame. We see the lot of hectic work days will be there. I go with the music, listening music. Sometimes there is any learning from that. I sit and just introspect what is the reason, why it was really hectic, and how to improve on that. Right. So if I repeat, it is like listening to music and then introspect the reasons to learn how to improve on that.
Beautifully put. Beautifully put. Great, great, great. So, talking about the challenges industry faces nowadays, Mr. Rao. In industries like healthcare, we have seen a rise in frauds such as counterfeit supplements and insurance scams, which have caused significant financial and reputational damage. So, for instance, a recent case in Bulandshahr uncovered a large-scale counterfeit supplements racket being exported internationally. Given your experience in managing complex tech projects with a focus on quality and compliance, how do you think industries like healthcare and tech can collaborate to prevent such frauds, ensure transparency, and maintain consumer trust?
Yeah, I think this is a very good example, right? How do we solve this problem? Because this involves multiple stakeholders in this process. So to me, the overall, as a company, we have to maintain a very strong internal controls. Number one, regularly assess the risk and ensure the team members or the group department adhering to the laws and the ethical standards. It is not that one-time effort. It is a repetition. At least in every quarter, go and look into each of the checklist items have followed by each and every employee. Each and every department has taken care in the right time and right place. There is a human aspect of it. There we can engage a third party vendors wherein they come back and check on top of it what the industry the same company is doing, so that they are not caught in the wrong foot. Right? When we hire the third party, they are accountable. Their job is to identify the mistakes. Right? So they that way there is an added security and added burden to the company, but that makes sure that in the long run we are not losing this kind of a credit. All right. This is the one way of looking into the third party vendors and all, and use the technology. Now the rise in technology, we have data analytics, we have AIs in system. Use those technology judiciously. Make the system where there is a prone. Right. Where is the possibility of error can happen. Right. This data, if you can get it, this is the real-time data. It can be reviewed by the multiple the hierarchy of the management and check if there is any mishap happening. Right. In terms of the communication wise, in terms of the transparency and accountability. Right. If you figure out any such incident, identify them and bring as the study case to the entire company and entire the community or stakeholders. Hey, this is what we figured out. This is sometimes it may happen intentionally, sometimes it may happen intentionally. When this kind of a case study published to the entire community, right, then it will become, oh, I should not be doing this. There, that creates a clear awareness. Then the probability will come down automatically, and over a period when you take a stringent action against those who are made the mistake, definitely the people will be sensitive about their career. Right. I think showcasing the regularly and repeatedly the mistakes which happened, and so talking and sharing that information to the stakeholders will definitely help and create a awareness in the entire domain.
It's really enlightening to hear how technology and compliance can intersect to prevent fraud, and it makes the problem tangible and solvable. I like the way
Uh,
you share both successes and lessons from setbacks, and it makes the narrative relatable and authentic. So, Mr. Rao, you have been involved with Directors Institute. What inspired you to join, and how has your experience there shaped your views on modern governance and leadership in today's fast evolving business landscape?
Yeah, this is the Director Institute is wonderful. You know, the step for me. This was I was thinking to uh, uh, increase my the skill sets and leadership, sharpen my leadership skills, right? And I was aspiring the directorship. What is the way? So this is the right place. I am here as a part of this team, wherein they have the right set of the methods, the right set of experts, wherein they are catering not only to the India across the globe. The team has a vast experience across the globe, how the corporate governance is happening, what are the different aspects, what are the different the areas where we can improve and leverage from one country to the other, one law to the other, because today we are working in not in one country, we are working in the multiple companies. This is the place there we have all the information in one place. They have system in place. That helped me to learn very fast way, right? In my busy schedule, right? I cannot afford some time, but when it comes to the system, it helped me cover over the weekend and my free time. The system in place helping me a lot to learn quickly and apply it. I think that was my the big success for myself to gain the knowledge on this directorship. And big thank you to the entire director team. I really appreciate what they have done as a system to help become the many directors over a period of a time. Big thank you once again.
So now it's great to hear how your journey with Directors Institute reshaped your view on governance, especially the part about navigating complex decisions and ethical challenges. Uh,
Right.
I like how you shared both the early struggles and the lessons learned, and it makes the journey so relatable.
Thank you.
So that is all for now. And Mr. Rao, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show today. Your journey through the tech industry, along with your insights on leadership and governance, has been incredibly inspiring. So thank you once again for sharing your experiences with us.
Thank you, Sunny. It's wonderful to talking with you.
Likewise. And to our listeners, we hope you found today's conversation as insightful as we did. Keep learning, stay curious, and remember, each step in your journey shapes the leader you become. Until next time, this is your host Sunny Pancholi signing off from FaceTime with Leaders. Stay driven, stay inspired. Thank you so much.